Transformers, more than meets the eye, and apparently it's caught Hasbro in a big lie. Well, we're going to talk about where Microsoft, Activision, and Hasbro all intersect in the world of gaming. Hasbro wants to re-release old Transformer video games, but Activision lost the code. This seems awfully strange. A company that will have backup after backup after backup, especially after they go through an FTC, the Federal Trade Commissioning, trying to stop their trade from happening or their merger, and a lot of things and a lot of details just missing out here from Activision or in more case, Hasbro. Hasbro wants the Transformer game to show up on Game Pass for Xbox or your Microsoft Xbox Game Pass. Now, they did an interview at San Diego Comic-Con, and in this interview, part of it was, is it possible to re-release the Activision Transformer games to coincide with Gamer Edition? And the response that they got from this interview was, sadly, apparently Activision not sure what hard drive they were on in their building. When a company eats a company and a company eats another company, things get lost. And that's very frustrating. Hope it is now that the deal is moving forward with Microsoft and Xbox that they will go through all the archives and every hard drive to find it, because it's an easy Game Pass ad and we want those games back up for people to have a chance to play. Well, it seems that they got a clarification direct from Hasbro from this. In relation to the above matter, Hasbro sent us this clarification to clarify. Comments that suggest Transformer games have been lost were made in error. We apologize to Activision and regret any confusion. They may be great partners, and we look forward to future opportunities to work together as they have to backpedal and kiss their ass now, because this is a very detrimental thing to Activision, Microsoft, and Hasbro in as a whole. They want this game, and surely enough, what happened here is Liu Chang, they're someone that actually works for Activision Blizzard, personal account, this is their personal account, and Trail Runner writing, they came back saying these headlines were wrong. These headlines, it was never lost, and it wasn't something that we had to go find. It was something that was just absolutely incorrect. So Activision people were able to sit there and call Hasbro out directly for the lies that they seem to spout. Well, you got to really think how many more lies really do come back from Hasbro, and I'm not entirely sure where the truth lies in a lot of things. We've seen this for a lot of things, and their quarterly 2 stuff has come out for their second quarter, and they talk about Magic the Gathering. We have talked strictly on Magic the Gathering in the past, and Hasbro, and all these things, and certain things seem to come down to where's the line. They say digital and licensing gaming revenue increased by 33%, bolstered by the addition of D&D Beyond, which had a big outcry. They had a mass exodus on D&D Beyond, so apparently they've now gained 33% of their revenue onto D&D Beyond by adding them, even though everyone laughed with the debacle of the whole licensing agreement and things for Dungeons and Dragons, and apparently the growth of Magic the Gathering Arena on top of that. But there's a active player count that is now out and about. Oh, over the last 30 days, or the last 30 days, they've had about 5.6 million players sit there and sign up for accounts. So that's not just the 30 days. That's how many active accounts they processed over the month. And it seems Steam, Twitch, they had 2.8 million hours viewed of Magic the Gathering content. That's a measurable amount, and it would be interesting to see more. But if we scroll down here into the detailed table of how many players there have been, back in February when Phyrexia All Is One, there was a mass exodus of 600,000 players leaving the game. That's 9% of their player base. And now into July, in the last 30 days, they've had about 11,000 people join up. But over the last few months, they've lost about 1 million players to Magic the Gathering Online. So I find it very strange to sit there in your reports and say that you had a gaming increase of 33% when your active player base has gone down as well. So how many more things do we have to sit there and read between the lines from Hasbro and Magic the Gathering? On top of this, the newest Universes Beyond set, The Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth, was the second biggest launch sell-in ever and is tracking to be the biggest selling Magic set of all time. I have to say, the search for the one-of-one ring really did bolster sales. You had streamers that spent $9, $10, $11,000 to open product looking for this one-of-one ring that was a $90 scratched off in the form of a booster pack. And up here in Canada, would have actually been deemed illegal to do. However, it's been, in emails I've gotten back, they said that that's not something they're going to pursue because it's nearly impossible to do. Hasbro has a team. They sit there with their team and they come up with the best case scenario for the shareholders. And this is something that continues to happen now. It's something that you have to sit there and try and judge for yourself where these things go. And when you read these results and then you can look at real-time data and go, something doesn't add up. These two things don't make sense. So you got to figure out where the actual line is. And this has been going on for years. This has been something that I've seen, many other YouTubers have seen, many other players in the game of Magic the Gathering, and anything around Hasbro. And when Hasbro sits there at Comic-Con and says that that they want these Transformer games, but it's not our problem, it's Activision problem. They're in the middle of all this stuff with Microsoft trying to get bought up. It's all their problem. We have nothing to do with it. They've lost the code. They've lost these games, and they're not going to put them on Game Pass. So now Activision comes back and says, yeah, we can put it on Game Pass. We can do this. The games exist. But why would you then go up in front of a San Diego Comic-Con panel and tell the audience and tell the readers and the listeners that this was false? How much of the quarterly results do we actually understand? It's a lot of legal jargon, and to actually sit there and talk about it and to figure it out, it's not easy to do. And I believe it was Bloomberg, once again, is now, or whatever, one of the financial things is saying that Hasbro is finally coming back up. But yeah, their stock has risen over the last few months, but we're going into the fall season, back to school season. So we got back to school and Christmas coming up. These two seasons are going to make and break Hasbro, and if they can't even get their facts straight at a San Diego Comic-Con interview on a Transformer game because it was a question asked, and by simply just saying it's all Activision's fault, you got to wonder how many more things does Hasbro blame on the player base, blame on the purchasers of their game, that just doesn't seem to keep them propped up where they once were. Anyway, I'm your proud Canadian Phoenix Cinder Shadow. I'm signing off here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.